Hello and welcome to episode 46 of the Niche to Profit Show here on the Vegas Video Network. 46, man, we're almost to 50, which is almost how old I am. It's a good number. Today's show, I know you guys, I see the chat filling up because this is on everybody's mind since Tuesday. And that is the spring seller release, which is where eBay announces all the changes they're making. You know, it's actually kind of nice they do this just twice a year. They lump it and we deal with it and we move on for 6 months and then we get thrown some more stuff and they're not as bad as they were for a while. Would you agree, Dawn?
I would agree. For a couple of years there, they were
major. Man, oh man. So we're gonna talk about that. I know there are grumblings out in Facebook land, and we're gonna address that too. First, for those who may not know, I'm your host, Danni Ackerman, also known as the Danni app, because of my nearly 2 decades in the eBay selling world and a lifetime in the retail world. And what I do is I help online sellers who are struggling with slow sales and discouragement and disgust with new fees. And I transform you into this profitable, happy e-commerce business owner. That's what we do, believe it or not. And what you're going to see on the show is you're going to see us take some real steps in improving listings and getting some things sold. You guys submit those and we deal with them. We're going to talk about some of the hot sales of the week. Who got it right? Who got that stuff and money in the pockets? And we're going to play another round of Pick It or Pass It, where I show you items in their natural habitat, the thrift store. And you get to tell me what it is based on some clues I give you and whether I picked it or passed it. And yes, we have prizes. We have cool prizes. So stick around to the end of the show, toward the end of the show for that. We are live every Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time at vegasvideonetwork.com/live. And you can join us in the live chat. And I think I see some new faces in there this week, too. I see Donna. Donna has joined us today. And gifts by Debbie, Ginger Nell, Janice, Joanne, a lot of the familiar names. Moon, what is that? Moonflower, Remember, I can't see very good. Mr. Danni app is in there. That, in other words, is my husband. He is with the kids playing some laser tag right now. And Stephen Bond, Suzanne. I see Linda Gonzalez of Tucson Teaks Collectibles, and then Twinkle Blazer, Carolyn. Thanks for joining in the live chat, you guys, and be sure you throw questions and comments and concerns as we go along, and we'll make you part of the show. So real quick, I just wanted to give a thank you to all of you. Know I've been going through some pretty not so fun medical stuff lately. Ended up in the hospital, and I was just telling Dawn before the show, this is something I've dealt with my whole life, but what really triggered it is I put off going to the dentist so long that I just had myself popping ibuprofens, like vitamins. That's not good. That will do bad things to you. So now I went and I got all the dental work done in one fell swoop. Sedation dentistry. Oh my gosh. It's a beautiful thing. I don't remember a thing. I don't remember any of it. I had no pain afterwards. It was really funny because I was groggy and I was determined to go do an auction preview. And I remember going and doing the auction preview, but I cannot tell you what I saw there. I must have been...
You probably missed some really good bargains, too.
I must have looked totally drunk. That's okay. I felt good. But yeah, so thanks, everybody. And those who know me know it didn't slow me down one bit. My business didn't stop. I kept selling and shipping and listing and coaching and doing the Danni app and doing the show. So, I'm telling you, you do it. You can push through it. You can do this stuff. All right. For those who may not know, my guest today is the one and only awesomest organizational diva, Dawn Ralston of Declutter with Diva Dawn.
Hey, everybody.
Where's our applause? Hello. Jeez, come on. What are we going to do with him over there? It's hard to find good help. It really. So Dawn is here today, not so much for the organizational part, but she's here today to help me go through these changes with you guys. And Dawn has an Anchor store, so she's greatly affected by the changes going in. So, you know, there's 3 levels of eBay stores. There's the basic, there's the premium, and then there's the Anchor. And Anchor's
changing.
When you've got lots of stuff listed. And so lots of changes, and we're gonna go through each one of these changes, and some of them we're gonna touch on a little harder than others. Some of them are causing you a little bit more stress than others. And let me see. I know I brought this up here. So eBay's actually given a really nice breakdown at this time of what's actually happening. And I'm going to kind of pull this up as we're going along. So let's cover first product reviews. Let's talk about product reviews. This happens over on Amazon big time. Where and you guys have noticed that they're pushing you to get those unique product identifiers in there. That's UPC codes and
the EANs and your part
ISBN numbers. And yes. And there's a very good reason for that, because for them to have a database where they can attach things like product reviews and such, they've got to have some uniformity, and they've got to have a catalog. So that's why they're really, really trying to get up to speed. But they cannot do this without sellers partaking. They count on you guys to add that information. Amazon started out that way. I mean, they have a little advantage because they built their system on that. They kind of had eBay to look at and go, oh, okay, we're going to do it this way, not that way. And eBay is like the jet engine that they have to work on in midair. So it's a little complicated. But so product reviews. Now, so if you have something that has one of those UPCs or ISBNs or EINs or EIEIOs. Yes, exactly. There we go. I knew that was, yeah, I knew it. I knew he was looking for that button. So yeah, if you've got those, now when somebody does a review of the product, not of your service, not of how it was packaged, the product, that's going to come up. Now that can be good or bad, because if it's a crappy product and it gets crappy reviews, you're probably going to want to ditch that product line. But you want that information anyway. So that's a good thing. I love that they're doing that. Category and item specific. And I'm gonna pull that up real quick. So it doesn't affect a lot of things, and they throw some of these changes in here every time. So it's affecting antiques, business and industrial, clothing, shoes and accessories, health and beauty, motors, musical instrument and gear, toys and hobbies, video games. And you can pull up any one of these and see what's in there. There's a little common thread here that I find funny, and I'm wondering if it has anything to do with the Trump phenomenon right now, because there's a lot of changes coming to hair pieces and wigs.
Coincidental? I don't know.
I don't know. Are more people looking for hair pieces and wigs? He does kind of bring that to the forefront.
Everybody wants to be Donald Trump this Halloween.
I do suspect it's going to be a very politically geared year for Halloween costumes. So I'm calling the trend right now. So, yeah. So that's where I'm seeing, mainly some changes, just breaking some other things out and such, and say, because the health and beauty was the same way. They broke out some children. So you can see they have this little map up here. So if it's in red, it's something new. They're adding. If it's blue, they've just combined it with another category. If it's green, they've renamed it. And which is good, you guys. You want them to do this. They are doing a lot of your marketing work, because they've got the database to see how people are searching for things.
Right. You want it called by the most popular search.
Yeah. So this is good stuff. And then, of course, if they've moved it, it's in purple or pink or whatever you call that. Move and rename, so hair extensions and wigs. I'm telling you, look at all the different stuff they've done here with hair extensions and wigs.
Well, it's much more popular these days to resell hair extensions, to buy them in bulk and sell them.
Then you got medicated hair treatments. Does that mean bald's going out? That would make my husband really sad.
I think it's around to stay.
You think? Unless they come up with something. He used to have hair down to his booty. Curly hair.
I can't imagine that.
He did. I have pictures somewhere. I swear. It's what 20 years with me does. All the hair
goes. Huh?
Okay. So, your typical category change. And I don't really hear anybody having any real issues with that just yet. So our other changes here are, let's talk Seller Hub. So some of you have gotten on board with Seller Hub. Some of you are still holding out because you're hearing things on Facebook. Don't get me started. Seller Hub is the new replacement for Selling Manager. It is your main place to go as a seller when you log into eBay. Now, I got to tell you, I'm not a big opponent of changing stuff. I like my routines. I like things the way they are. I switched over to Seller Hub. Of course, I have multiple accounts, so I did it on one of the lesser accounts first and got used to it. And then I saw all the benefits and all the features and all the things that it does. Here's the other cool thing is if you're in Seller Hub, they're listening to the feedback you're sending them on how it works, and they're making changes on the fly.
Yeah, they are making some great changes with it.
Yeah.
From what I hear. I have not adopted it yet. Yeah,
what am I going to do with
I'm
you,
one
Dawn?
of the holdouts. Well, it was very strategic for me because I knew I was going to be away half of February. And then when I came back in March, life was crazy, and I figured I'd be catching up. And I kind of slated April as the time for me to be learning Seller Hub. Yeah, now that's moved to May because I've got some other plans for April now.
So the really cool thing is if you're an appster, we did an entire webinar and went through it piece by piece by piece. And the feedback was, I didn't know it did that. I didn't know it could show me that. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
I'm looking forward. That's step number one is to do the Seller Hub webinar before I opt in. We
tore into it. Now, is it perfect? No, there's some things I still wish that it had that would be easier. But you know what? We're functioning with it. My employees using it and everything is running smoothly. And it's really easy. You can toggle back to the other one if you just go, whoa, can't do it.
Yeah, but not after the summer. After the summer, it's going to be the default for everyone.
Exactly. Which is the point I was getting to is best to adopt it and get used to it because you're stuck with it.
And if you are in a position like me where you haven't opted in yet, you need to, because if there are things that you're not seeing in there, this is your chance to give the team the feedback and maybe get that
be heard,
that piece added in.
And they are being very responsive with that. I mean,
they've done so much.
I send them tons of stuff, and so far, I have to tell you that all but one thing has been incorporated.
Wonderful.
And I know it's not just me. I'm listening and got my eye on what the appsters are doing, and I tell the appsters, here's what I'm sending. Send this in too. So we're a collective voice. But yeah, making changes. So I love it now. I really love Seller Hub now. And it's only getting better.
Well, I'll let you know in another month.
Okay. All right. We'll have that discussion. Maybe we should just do a whole show on Seller Hub. So another thing that's if you sell jewelry, there is some changes to the jewelry policy. And we're not going to go in depth into it. But basically what they're trying to prevent now is people calling something fine jewelry that isn't fine jewelry.
What's going to happen to all the jewelry listings that are already there? Are they going to be grandfathered in? Are we going to be required to fix them? For me, I have a bunch of what I call costume jewelry listed because I don't know enough about it to tell you whether it's fine or fashion.
So it needs to have either a gold or silver element or be an actual gemstone. It can be a gemstone and on a non-silver or gold, but it has to have one of those things to qualify as fine.
Okay, that helps me.
Yeah. Otherwise, but I don't know if how they're going to. Wait, Listings that don't follow these guidelines may be removed, and your selling privileges may be restricted, and your account may be suspended.
But is that new listings or current listings?
Yeah, you're probably going to get the little these listings need some attention type thing. So,
which I know right where it is in my selling manager, and hopefully I'll find it in my seller's selling hub.
There you go. Easy fix. The next two things we're going to talk about are the ones that are seeming to cause some consternation out in the social media world. Let's first talk about the view item mobile descriptions. This, actually, guys, this is good news. How many times do you hear customers don't read? Well, guess what? eBay is trying to solve that problem by making the descriptions mobile friendly now so that they can entice more reading of the actual description. So this is not a bad thing. So I can already hear the questions coming in, though, about, but I have bullet points and I have this and what do I do? So the first thing I'm going to say is just breathe. just take a deep breath. First, ask yourself, and eBay sends you this data, how much of my business is on mobile devices? Some categories, huge. Some categories, not as much. Mine's at about 20. It's been rising. It's about a 20-25%.
Mine's right there with you.
Yeah.
Mine goes from 22 to 28.
So I'm thinking that is about 75 to 80% of my people are still in front of that big monitor looking on a PC. So I am not going to do away with my bullet points and how I write my descriptions. As I watch the number engage, and of course, you have to do this. No matter what you sell, you have to look at your own business numbers. Critical.
Well, my understanding was bullet points are considered simple HTML and are fine for
They are
mobile.
fine. They are fine. What is not going to be fine, and it's funny because I have been preaching this for years, is anything that has some little widgety, flashing this or that or scrolling or
galleries
yes.
and
yeah. I'm telling you guys, those scrolling galleries need to go anyway. They unless you can prove to me that they're converting into sales, they're just distracting your buyer off the page. Especially if they're at the top. So that's one of my things. It's like if you insist on having it, put it below your description, not above it, below it. But anyway, those really are going to be going to the wayside. Now, I have heard Octiva is a big company of that, third party, and I heard eBay's working with them to come up with a solution because I bet the third party softwares that do these things are in a bit of a panic.
Probably, depending on how much notice they've had to fine tune and make adjustments for people.
Because that's our whole business. Is upselling all these little, widgets and tools and
fancy things to add to your listing.
Yeah, but just be careful what you are adding to your listings that does not really enhance the listing itself.
Now, one of the things I did this week after the announcement was I took a fairly generic listing of mine and threw it into Word and did a word count on it and saw how many characters it was.
It's a good idea.
And I was shocked that it came up like 840.
Oh,
so
there you go.
I've got a couple of paragraphs at the end of my listings, and I just need to winnow those down, and everything should be pretty good for me. I should be under the 800 characters.
Well, and that's the big thing. If you have a lot of terms of service in your descriptions, put those where they go. Put the return policy and the shipping stuff in those. There's tabs for that now. Just bump them out of there. The international, it used to be really necessary because your page was a contract. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Remember the good old days? That's no longer the case. We all know it doesn't matter what you write there. It matters what you have in your actual policies.
And you just turn off buyers if you've got too much rules and regulations about you can only buy this if you'll pay me by this time, and if you don't leave me negative feedback and all this other stuff.
Yeah. So get that stuff
Nobody
out of there.
wants to read it anyway.
You are going to be able to select the things that you want eBay to highlight in that description, because they're going to choose if you don't choose for them. So there's a little, and I don't know what the HTML tag is right now. There's a little taggy thingy you're going to be able to use to, but really, you know what? I'm going to let them do it because I'm writing a relevant description. And that's what they're pulling. They're going, here's the title. Here's the item specifics. What if this backs that up?
Exactly. My last line of my listings is usually, thanks for shopping at Diva.lv.
They're not going to choose that.
So why have it there? I just need to take it out because they're not going to choose it anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. So that's, you guys, this is good. This is a good change. They are really integrating and making things more accessible for the mobile shoppers, which we all know do you know how many people are in a store now? And yes, they check Amazon, but yes, they also check eBay prices to see. And then it's like, oh, well, I can get this over on eBay. And thank you, Scott. It's called showrooming. Stores are just like spinning, over this. They don't know what to do. So people are pulling that stuff up, and then they pull your listing up and go, oh, I like this one better. Click.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want them to do. So it's all good. It's all good, you guys. There's no fighting this thing anymore. Like, this is not just a passing fad.
It is here to stay.
It's indeed. Pretty soon we're going to be born and they're just going to go, where would you like that implanted? Just saying.
Be like the Star Trek where they just touch their little sensor. And...
Yep. Beam me up. All right. I don't watch any of those shows, so I'm guessing. Scott says clearly. Sorry, I'm just in mourning that The Good Wife is on its last season. That's all I got to say. It's where I get all my legal advice. Come on. It's where I've learned a thing or two. Don't judge me. Okay, let's talk about the biggie.
Stores.
The big gorilla in the room. Whoa. Okay. This is where you guys hear price going up and everybody starts going crazy here. Now, granted, change is hard especially when it comes to changes in things that affect your bottom line. And I'm just going to pull up. They have a really cool little chart here that shows the breakdown. They have been testing all of how they do the listings and how many listings. eBay you cannot even fathom the amount of data that eBay has on all of the sellers. I mean, we tend to think in this little egocentric cocoon of here's how it is for me, therefore it must be this way for everybody kind of thing. Now, I'm simplifying that. I know you guys aren't quite that shallow. Well, there's a few of you out there, but you're probably not watching the show. All right. But here's the thing. They have tens of thousands of sellers that they have to find what works. And the bottom line is, for them, that it's great that we get the benefit of this, but let's face it. eBay is in business for eBay. And this is a really hard thing for me. And it was probably the hardest thing and something I still struggle with of taking things too personally, getting my feelings hurt, not feeling special, not feeling like, how can they do that? Don't they value me as a seller? No. No.
They have hundreds of thousands of sellers, and they have to play to the majority.
Exactly. It's not about caring. It's not about feelings. It is about, here is the data. This is going to make sense for the bottom line. This is going to make the majority of people happy. Yeah, we're going to have some grumblers over here, but this is what we got to do. And they make a business decision. And they don't make it lightly. I can assure you this is a year-long process.
Oh, I'm sure.
That there's a committee just looking at this going, okay, how do we do this? So they've actually thrown in a lot of benefits with this. So let's just kind of really quickly go through. So basic store, and I wrote my little numbers down here because they don't have a comparison. So the basic store right now is $15.95 a month, and it includes 200 listings, fixed price, or auction, and an additional 100 auctions. So now it's going up to 20, and I'm going to go by the yearly subscription because really, if you're watching the show, I know you're a serious seller. This is not like I'm going to do this for a month and quit. So a year, you need to do the year subscription.
That's one of the major changes I see right off the bat is that the discrepancy, the distance between a month to month and a yearly has grown greater.
Yeah.
It used to be maybe $20 difference.
Yeah.
Now it's $50, $25.
They need to do that because they need to know what their consistency is.
Right. They've got a budget too.
Yes. And they've worked all these numbers to make sense to their bottom line. And so now you're getting, so you're getting an extra 50 listings, but you're getting also another 250 auctions.
And collectibles and fashion.
That's in basic.
Yeah.
Do you know how many collectibles categories there are? I list almost everything in a collectibles category, which includes pottery, glass, art, antiques. Those all are included in there. You can find a category where it fits. Okay, let's talk about premium because a lot of you have the premium store. So right now, $49.95 a month, and that includes 500 listings plus 100 auctions. Now it's going to be $59.95, so it's going up $10 a month. And it's going to include 1,000 listings.
So double right off the bat.
I'm thrilled.
For $10.
I'm thrilled. Plus 500 auctions. And you guys, if you're not running auctions on a consistent basis, start. There's a reason they're pushing these auctions. You know why? It is what makes eBay different. It is what they can market on and tell people, come here instead of Amazon or Etsy because it's an auction. They're the only site that has that.
And it's the feature that brings excitement and real a nice score for something you didn't know the value of.
Yes.
Where you might, if you had priced it at fixed price, you might have priced it at $30 and it might go for $200. You don't know.
Auctions are alive and well, my friends. Auctions are alive and well. There's a strategy to doing them, but make no mistake, they're still working. They're still working well. So they want you to use those auctions. Anchor Store, this is a biggie because it's about $180 a month right now.
Right now it's $180.
And you get 2,500 listings.
Correct. And 100 auctions.
And 100 auctions. Now it's going to be, I'm getting instructions to scroll up, by the way. He goes, why is she stopping? He talks to me. You know, he needs something to do during the show because he's never going to sell on eBay. So $300 a month. And everybody goes, whoa.
That was my first reaction because I'm an Anchor Store and was like, oh my God.
What is that? $120 increase?
Yep.
Okay. But let's talk about that. 10,000 listings.
Wow. Now, I know a lot of sellers that are up in the 4, 5, 6, 9, 10,000 listings. And this is going to be fabulous for them.
Yep.
This is what they need because they are spending so much money to maintain those listings.
That's why this was done.
And this is going to be a great value.
Yeah. And then we haven't even talked about yet. So the branded shipping supplies. You're going to get, I'm going to go over to another page here and let's see. There we go. I am giddy excited over this.
You are one strange puppy.
Because when the priority mail rates went up, I pretty much stopped using priority for most of my stuff. I have been using FedEx Standard Post, FedEx Home, which means buy boxes. They're going to give me $50 worth of shipping supplies now. I don't care if it says eBay on it. I mean, there's this big thing, but we're advertising for them, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Hey, they're advertising for you too.
Yeah. And the prices, you guys, these are good prices.
They're very reasonable.
Very reasonable. They've really worked this out nicely. So we've got like a 25 count on a 12 by 6 by 6 for $15.64 with free shipping.
Believe me, Danny, I buy 12 by 6. Well, no, I buy 12 by 12 by 6.
Okay.
And I pay almost $40 for 25 of those.
I'm telling you, these are good. They have negotiated really good prices.
Yeah, look at that, 12 by 12 by 12, $23.08.
Yeah.
That's about half of what I pay.
I'm thrilled. And the fact that they're going to throw some of these in for free, I'll take it. And
won't it be fun to have people recognize an eBay box like they recognize an Amazon box?
Yes. And if you want your own brand on it, people, make some stickers. Seriously, Funsational Finds. They put their branded sticker on every box they send out. That will, if you want it to be yours. But come on, you cannot complain about this. I'm sorry. I'm biting my tongue over on Facebook. You know, I think some people just look for something to complain about. And you guys don't go there. Millionaires don't do that. There is no millionaire that's out there on Facebook complaining about how something went up in price or this company is, how dare they sell boxes that have their branding on it. Stop it if you're doing that. Okay. Thank you. All right. Took care of that problem. So they're upping the price, but I mean, they are giving you $25 for basic, and they've figured out how many packages you're shipping.
They know what you need.
They've got these numbers. $50 and it's $50 a quarter. Hello, there's 4 quarters in a year. So do the math for me. That's $200 in shipping supplies for a premium store. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did that right. And if you are, that's $75 a quarter. So $300 in shipping supplies. If you're an anchor store, you have to account for that. You have to look at that as like it's a perk. And then promoted listings credit. And we're getting to where we got to get to the rest of the show. But if you guys aren't doing promoted listings, hello, get Seller Hub, do those promoted listings. I got some real data on that, man. That stuff works. It works. And it's just the way it is now. I mean, this is where we have to go. This is those of you who want to stay alive in this e-commerce world got to keep up. You got to keep up with these changes and the competition and the innovation that's out there, and you can do it.
So it's a great deal for those that are remaining in anchor store or going to upgrade.
So let me just say real quick, so going back to those of you who kind of kept your anchor store at 2,500 listings and you thought that was going to keep you.
Yeah, that would
right
be me.
There. Okay. So the first thing, and we had this discussion, get into that older inventory and go, what can I ditch right now?
Exactly. I sat and ran some numbers. The first thing I did was I asked myself, if I change nothing, what does that mean to my business? And basically all it said to me was I was going to continue to carry all my inventory. It was going to cost me more to carry it. And it wasn't going to make any more by carrying it. So then it became, what's my decision? What do I have to do? Mm-hmm. So my decision was I'm going to go back down to a premium store. And I figured out kind of levels that I'm going to work at. I can back down to a premium store, maintain 2,000 listings, and pay right what I'm paying now.
Bingo.
So I have to get rid of 500.
Bingo.
And I've got old stuff I can get rid of. I can lot up. I'm going to lot it up. I'm going to put it on promotion, put it through Markdown Manager, move out what I can, and donate the rest.
Yeah, because, I mean, the 10 cents a listing is not changing for anything that goes over your allotted amount. So you're right. And I think I did it was even a little more than 2,000. Because
right, it was slightly more.
And you got to figure in the 500 auctions.
Right. Because I do run auctions. And when I run more than 100 in a month, I'm paying for those as well.
Yeah, and I just want to point, there's a good point over in the chat too. When you're committing to a year store subscription, you're not paying that all up front. That just says I am committed to staying for a year, and then they give you the reduced rate by the month. So it's just a monthly charge. Yep, it reduces your monthly rate substantially. And then you're penalized if you don't keep your store for a year, of course.
Right. So one of the things you have to look at if you're in that sweet spot of 2,500 listings is, am I planning to grow my business further, or am I looking to move it back or change my inventory mix?
Yeah.
For me, I'm not in a position where I want to grow my business any further than I have. I would like to contain less inventory, more valuable inventory. And I'm in the middle of getting rid of some of my niches and changing things up a little bit and going for some more profitable merchandise. Yeah. I have a lot of merchandise in my store that's $15.
I mean, I can tell you, and this is a pretty industry standard number, that 20% of your inventory is making 80% of your money. It's called, Scott says that's the Pareto principle. Yeah, and it's really true. I mean, the last, 6 months, I have really been in numbers mode and analyzing my business. And you look at that stuff and go, why do I even put anything in this category? I like it, but nobody else does. Ditch it. It's, again, don't get emotional over your stuff. It's just stuff. Make it make sense for you. You guys, we are going to continue this discussion, especially appsters. We're doing a whole nother webinar we're digging into these and looking at how it affects you individually. So I encourage, if you're not an appster, which is our Niche to Profit Academy members, come on over, dig into this. We will help you make those numbers make sense and make this truly make your business grow instead of looking at it as a negative. And then you too can get a little irritated when you see all the negativity out there on Facebook. Back me up on that.
There you go. I know I freaked out when I first looked at it. I went, oh no, what are they doing to me?
We all do that.
And then I sat down and looked at the numbers and said, oh, this isn't so bad. I'm going to lose the cachet of being an anchor store. Who cares? My bottom line is going to be much healthier.
Right. And if you aspire to be an anchor store, then it's time to look, okay, how do I ramp up my business and make this make sense?
Right. And I'm in a position where I want it to stay the same, if not slow down a little bit.
Yeah. It all depends where you are in your life, in your business. And I want to touch real quick, new feature fees. I don't really spend much time looking at these because I don't buy into any of this, and I don't recommend you guys do either. You don't need to do this to sell stuff. That's the subtitles and Gallery Plus and Bold and Value Pack and blah.
It really eats away at your profit when you're paying that month after month after month.
Get rid of that stuff. Just get rid of that stuff. All right. We're going to take a quick commercial and come back and solve a few problems.
Sounds good.
At Neon Brand, we take care of all your online marketing. We build websites, perform search engine optimization, run social media campaigns, and produce high-quality photos and videos. We look at it like we're a one-stop shop for all your online marketing needs. We pride ourselves on quality work. Every website we build gets the utmost attention to detail and uses the latest in code and technology in order to ensure that your site stays relevant for the long term. Social media takes constant monitoring and engagement, and we have just the team to handle it for you. A killer video or photo shoot will take your product or service to a whole nother level. Don't believe me? 3 words: Dollar Shave Club. Google it. If you're looking to get more customers through the internet, give us a call. We'll set up a free consultation and review your business needs and then decide on a plan that will help you accomplish your online marketing goals. I'm Kenny, this is Neon Brand, and we're here to help you succeed online.
All right. We're just going to cover one of these today because we just spent a whole lot of time talking about those changes.
And we're going to be continuing to talk about them over in the Facebook group and everywhere else.
It's not going to stop. All right. From Amy Scordo, she has this NARS, the multiple bronzer stick in the color Malaysia. And this is a really good example of something we can talk about promoted listings too. So she says she's had this in stores. I think I'm competitively priced. I've tried changing the title. I'm at a loss, and I have about 40 still left. So good that you don't show. It says more than 10 available, but I'm wondering how many you're telling eBay that you have. So right off the bat, if you have 40, don't tell eBay you have 40. Go in there and say you have 10. And I bet that's what's happening here too. So now those 3 sold in a ratio of 3 out of 10 looks pretty darn good. And eBay's going to raise that up. I would tailor down that title a little bit more to NARS Multiple Bronzer Stick Malaysia 0.5 ounce. Take out your commas. I don't know what FS stood for. I didn't find that in any of the other stock listings. I went out on Google and stuff and looked at this. And I'm probably thinking that's not what your customer, they're just putting in Malaysia. New in box, that's in your item condition. You don't need that in your title. Cheeks, lips, if they're searching this brand and this bronzer, they already know what they're using it for. Take that out too. Simplify that title. Believe it or not, the $14.99 may not be as competitive as you think. There are a lot of listings that are under the $10 range on this, sadly. But if you have Seller Hub, and this is where it comes in really handy, you can pull up this listing and look how it compares to other listings of the same thing, other sellers that have it, and how they're getting impressions versus you. Oh, there's so much data in there. Does FS free shipping? Perhaps. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Matt. Matt over in the chat came up with that. And Granny Square. And there's it's Matt's sound effect.
If you have 40 available, why don't you maybe try offering a 3-pack?
That's another good idea. But what I really want her to do is a promoted listing. Easiest, simplest, and basically all it is you say how much of a percentage you want to, what's the word? It's not bid, but it's like a pay-per-click, but not really, because you only pay when they buy. So they'll promote this listing above all the other NARS, the multiple bronzer sticks, put it out there in front of more customers, and when it sells, you just pay, I think you can go as low as 5%. And I did it on shoes. Oh my gosh. I sold 5 pair. Bam.
Nice.
Yeah. It was totally worth it. So that's what I say about that. I just want to make a note too about, there's one picture. I say take your, you wouldn't want to use mine because I'm like peeling and everything, but take a nice hand model and put the color on skin so they can see it on skin. But get another picture in there. Makeup Girl Bargains, you have pinned yourself into a discounted priced place by putting bargains. So you might want to think about a name change. And I don't recommend this too often, but you can stay makeup. I would take the bargains out. Just be Makeup Girl or Super Makeup Girl or something. You keep everything. All you're doing is changing your name. You lose a little bit of SEO, search engine stuff. But you know what? I am not as big on holding on to a name because of that anymore if it's not benefiting you in the long run. So, and she's totally niched in makeup. So has all the elements there. All right. So let's look at some sellers who got it right. Okay. He doesn't like my music. Okay, we got a little story to tell. Let me pull up Matt. There we go. Matt, Chainsaw Matt. Oh my goodness, look at all these recommended things here. Okay, there we go. All right, Dawn, would you read that little story we have?
Sure.
We have some pictures to go with this too.
So Matt says, behind every happy man is a good woman who puts up with his own personal insanities. Had my wife married a normal guy, when the washing machine stopped working properly and she got a new one and asked him to haul it away, she would have got a yes, dear. But alas, she did not marry a normal guy. And all I could think of was, it's not all broken. It's only some broken. And I'm sure someone wants some working parts. So I tore it apart. Look at that. Parts. Yeah, parts. This is not my niche, nor area of expertise. So, of course, the one part that I broke was the timer switch, which retails for $165.
Yeah. Ouch.
Oh, well, I got a dozen parts to list. Normally, I'm good about sticking to my niche, but I'm playing today and just could not throw away a perfectly, mostly good washing machine.
Yeah.
So, and Matt, I would say this is still your niche.
I agree. I totally agree. Well, he's rethinking it now.
Yeah, parts is parts.
Parts is parts. People are still it's a matter of learning. Oh, how do I tear this one down? Okay, boom. Now it's just a new little inventory chain. Totally. It's right in what would not be your niche. See, she says niche. I say niche. What would not be your niche would be if you started tearing apart a car. That's
something totally different.
Exactly.
Because that is so all-consuming all by itself.
It's an appliance. So now maybe you categorize outdoor, equipment, indoor appliance. I mean, oh my gosh, the places you can go with this, Matt.
Oh my gosh, you could be tearing down blenders.
Where's the angels? I can never wait for the sound effect. So love it. Love it. Matt's on. He's going to do great things. Great things. Okay. And then real quick, I want to show you one of mine. I don't do this too often, but there's a story behind this. So I got this Disney Carousel print. It's really cool. I didn't really want to sell it. I really kind of loved it. And I paid $100 for it. I paid $100 for it at the... He's cursing in my ears. I know he can't handle it. I got so many offers on this thing in the $250 to $300 range, and I just kept saying, nope, because you know what? I knew it was worth the money. I priced it right. And I would come down a little bit in each offer. I think I countered one guy at $350, another $375. Nope. Nobody wanted. Nope. So this last guy had gone back and forth with me, and he was on his third time and finally going, okay, I'll take it for $375. Guess what happened?
Somebody bought it for full price.
Woohoo! How it works, my friends. Yeah. So if you know that something has value and you are getting multiple offers on it's like, don't be too quick to take it. Now, the things you take quickly is if you've never gotten any engagement on the item and now somebody comes along and you got a profit and you go, yeah, take the money and run. So you got to know to play that game a little. Know when to hold.
And you know what? This is a perfect example of no lowball offer is a bad offer because it brings interest, and eBay recognizes somebody's interested in this. So there are going to be other people interested. And it helps bring you up in search, helps make you more popular, helps you be one of the cool kids, and more people will see your listing. Yeah. And eventually that offer will come in that's acceptable.
And it works time after time after time, over and over, and it's a beautiful thing. Hey, how about we do a little commercial break and come back for some Pick It or Pass It?
Meet Lucy. Lucy's an eBay seller, and she needs to sell more stuff. But Lucy has a problem. She's frustrated with slow sales and confusing changes eBay keeps making. So Lucy searches online for a solution, how to make more money on eBay. And she discovers the Niche to Profit Academy. Real-time help for struggling eBay sellers. Step-by-step, easy-to-follow solutions. Help when you need it so you can focus on selling more stuff. Problem solved. Now Lucy can list with confidence and make more money. Simply come join at niche2profitacademy.com and start increasing your sales and feeling less confused. niche2profitacademy.com. Use the code SHOW30 for a free 30-day trial.
I play that live every week. Nobody even knows that I put the keyboard right away after I do that. So cool. Pinocchio. All right. Yes, you guys, come on over. Show 30. If you get in now, you will be in on the webinar that we are doing in just under 2 weeks. It's going to go through all these changes step by step. And you can even submit your business as one where we really go in deep and figure out how to make this work if you're just have no idea how to figure it out. Also, I'm just going to say, if this is the time to jump in and be an appster, those who are appsters, I'm going to say by the end of April are going to be my beta testers for my preferred eBay network that I'm going to send you customers. Just saying. So now is the time. Jump in. Use the code SHOW30, and it's first 30 days. Check it out for free. All right. And you go to niche2profitacademy.com. niche2profitacademy.com. Hey, how about we play a little pick it or pass it? Hey, Vanna, can you tell us what they can win?
Well, we have the fabulous tote bag. And I believe there's a coffee cup as well. No.
Cash cow not included.
There you go. And do we still have T-shirts?
We do not have T-shirts right now. If somebody really, really wanted the T-shirt, I could drum up a T-shirt.
Any books?
No. You know what we have?
What do we have?
We haven't. I thought I had it pulled up on here, and I just don't. We have a 25-point business review where I personally go in and give you all the areas in your business where you're leaving money on the table, and I help you make more money. So that's super valuable.
More money is a good thing.
More money. And you previous winners, but let's just show. We got. Oh look, hey, there's
the coffee cup.
There's Matt's coffee cup, and there is Marie. She's won twice. Yeah, she's got all the goodies. And there's Mike Q, who just joined the live chat just in time.
Just in time to see his picture.
That's right. So here's the thing: if you've won, send me a picture. If you're goody. Also, if you have asked for the business review previously, you have been sent an email that you must respond to, or we cannot do it for you because there's some questions that you have to answer. So if you didn't get that email, you need to shoot me another one, and we'll get you into that. Okay. So last week we had the Willow Tree 3 Wise Men nativity figures, with a little ox thrown in. And these are done by Susan Lordy, is the designer. And now I'd never seen the nativity figurines before. I've seen lots of Willow Tree figurines, and they sell, $20, $30 range. So I looked these up real quick and that's like $75 worth of figurines right there. Ka-ching!
Very cool.
I did pick them.
Nativity stuff, almost any brand sells. I've sold no brand nativity things for really good money. People love nativities.
Okay, let's see. We had, what did I say?
15.
We had 15 answers, 14 of them correct. And most of them get the double entry because that's how it works. You tell me what it is, and that's one entry. And if you guessed if I picked it this time, that's the second entry. So I'm going to do the first one if you can put in the second ones for me.
Okay.
So we've got Beth Kelly says the 3 Wise Men Nativity Willow Tree figurine by Susan Lordy. Looked these up on eBay, and some have sold and some have not, but it is not the Christmas season. True that. These would have cost you a total of $12. Yep. Some were selling for around $100, and they did not include the cow. I would say that you picked it. Indeed.
Absolutely, Beth.
All right. Linda Castillo, Willow Figurines by Susan Lordy. Pick it. I'm going to give you that one. We've got Lynn Stallard, Willow Tree, 3 Wise Men, and Ox Nativity Figurines. Susan Lordy is the artist, based on sold listings of 50 plus for the 3 Wise Men. I'm guessing you picked it. I did. All right. Ooh, it goes faster when you're doing the second ones. Brenda Little from, how do you say, is it Ottawa?
Ottawa.
See, I'm telling you, you got keep the phonetics coming, guys. Keep the phonetics coming. Great find. I'm sure that you picked the Susan Lordy Willow Tree Nativity Scene figures. I did. Deborah Simons, I say that you picked it because the set, not including the cow, can go for $45 on up. It's designed by Susan Lordy, is highly collectible. Thanks for having such a fun show to listen to. You are so welcome. Linda Pacheco. This week's item looks to be from the Willow Tree Demdaco Susan Lordy set of the Nativity. It's the 3 Wise Men and the bovine. I like that word, the bovine.
Bovine.
Yes, there he is. I think you picked it as it should sell for around $75 or more. That should get you about $50 after the original cost, fees, and shipping. That's a nice profit. Yes, indeedy. The profit margins we get, retail stores would drool over. They're happy to get double what they pay for something wholesale and then just sell it in mass quantities.
It's called Keystone.
Keystone, yeah. We do so much better than that. Carol Hearn. These are Willow Tree Nativity figures. 3 Wise Men by Susan Lordy. It looks like it should sell for around $60 on eBay. Danny picked it. Yes, indeedy. Bobby Bushy, a.k.a. Mom. The newest pick it or pass it item is a Willow Nativity set, 3 Wise Men and Ox by designer Susan Lordy, and you picked it.
Does she get inside information seeing stuff at your house?
Nope. She never comes over to my house anymore. She doesn't love me anymore.
You guys, you're always over there.
We are. Marina Montenegro, a.k.a. Morning Monte on Facebook. These are Willow Tree Nativity figurines designed by Susan Lordy. I think you picked it since the Wise Men go for over $60. The ox is just gravy.
My kind of gravy.
Or could be served with gravy. Lisa Hensley, Willow Tree, Susan Lordy, 3 Wise Men nativity pieces with bonus cow. Yes, you picked. You have mentioned picking up nativity pieces whenever you see them in the past. When I Google shopped the 3 Wise Men alone, they were selling for $72 at Belk's New. Sharon Plinus, they are part of the Willow Tree nativity set. Pieces of the original set are missing like the sheep. They sell well. I believe you picked it and hopefully looked around the store for the rest of the pieces. I did. Oh, gosh, you guys, that's super tip there. You start seeing like a collection of something at the thrift store, look around because chances are they didn't all get put in the same spot. And I've done that many times.
Me too.
Dova Smith, Willow Tree, Wise Men, figurines. Danny picked. Deborah Joyce, this week's Pick It or Pass It is Willow Tree 3 Wise Men nativity set by Susan Lordy Dumducko. 3 Kings, I think the cow was a bonus find. I saw the cow first. You know that, right?
Oh, of course you did.
And I picked it up and going, this looks like Willow Tree. 3 Wise Men. Yes.
Danny has that with cow eye.
Katarina, 3 Wise Men nativity figurine set, Willow Tree by Susan Lordy Dumducko. Danny picked it. And Stephen Douch rhymes with couch without the E. We have a little note. Where's my note from Stephen? Where's it? What do I do with it?
I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. Here it is. Found it. He wrote me. We're not going to read it all. He did guess correctly. They followed a star and found the light of the world and ox. With the recent combined completed springtime listings on eBay of between $75 and $144, the possibility of storing your investment or occupying space in your storage reserved for Christmas shelf space depends which way you want to look at it until Halloween. Aiming for the top end, hoping someone wants to complete, he kind of went on and on. 7 months stagnant cash flow, blah, 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 blah. He said I passed it, but he did know what they were, so he gets an entry.
Christmas sells all year.
Thank you. All year. Yeah. Yep. There's people. Always. Okay. We got 1 minute. Let's pick it. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. It's hard to grab just one. Here. I got one. I got one. We've got dun, 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 dun. Lynn Stallard. Lynn Stallard.
Congrats, Lynn.
Write to me at niche2profit@vegasvideonetwork.com. Let me know what you would like to have as your prize. Okay, this week. We got to do this quick. All right, here he is. Where's my clues? A better name might be Stander. Better name might be Stander. Putting a small cactus here could affect his mood. Certain little keyword I'm looking for there, guys. He was $5. Did I pick it or pass it? Send your answers to niche2profit@vegasvideonetwork.com. niche2profit@vegasvideonetwork.com. If you missed that, I post this over on Facebook, so you will find it there. Whew! come on over, join the Appsters, 30-day free trial, niche2profitacademy.com. It is the best time ever. We are doing something super exciting. If you missed the show last week, go back and review the future of e-commerce, at least right here in Vegas, and what is happening for those of you who follow the Niche to Profit show and the Niche to Success site. There's some crazy cool stuff happening. You want to be in on it, and it's a whopping $10 a month to get in now. I can guarantee you it won't stay that way as we grow, but you guys get in. All right. Come watch the replays over on my YouTube channel and everywhere else we broadcast this show. And with that, thank you, Dawn, for being here.
It was a pleasure.
Go be profitable and make it fun.